Where do I even begin? If you've watched A Time Called You, you will understand because there is so much to speak about and even more to cry about. I will say right off the bat though that this is probably going to be quite a spoiler heavy review, but I will always state when I'm about to reveal something, so I'll keep a good amount spoiler free too for all of you who haven't seen it yet. So without further ado, let's get into it. Disclaimer, as per usual, there will be spoilers in this video. I will warn you beforehand so you can skip ahead, and if you want to, you can remain blissfully oblivious. These are my subjective opinions. If you don't agree, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, respectfully please. And if you agree, I'd also love to hear your opinions and whether you fully agree with me or just partially. For all of you who are new here, which I guess also kind of includes me because I've not been here very long, this is a Flashback Friday episode, so we're going to be delving into a drama from over a year ago, which today is A Time Called You, which was released in 2023, and also today marks a month since I posted my first video, which is kind of insane. It was very spontaneous, and I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm so glad that there's already quite a lot of you who are connecting with my videos. Like, that is just such an honor, and I love being able to speak about it, because that's the reason I made this channel. It's so that I could create community about the dramas that I love and all of these thoughts that I so often have after I finish a drama that I can never articulate, but now I can articulate it and have people with very similar opinions, very different opinions. I just have having that discussion. So thank you so much for being here for my, I guess, 1 month anniversary, and yeah, let's get into Flashback Friday. A Time Called You is a time-traveling, mind-bending romantic drama running for a glorious 12 episodes, not long enough, and takes the audience on a crazy journey of confusion, leaving little clues along the way. I was completely hooked from episode 1, which doesn't usually happen to me. It often takes me a couple of episodes to really get into it, but with this one, I needed no easing in. Episode 1 opens in a music store in 1998 where a shy teenager, Minju, is working. It's made very obvious from this opening alone that she has a huge crush on her classmate Siheon, who comes in to buy a cassette with his best friend Ingyu, who actually is the one that has a crush on Minju. This trio is extremely important in its original form, and they're shown in this way in the first 2 episodes, even before the time travel takes place. Whereas in the modern day, which in the case of this show, as I said, is 2023, we follow grieving girlfriend Junhee, which is the same actress as Minju, who's mourning the death of her boyfriend Yeonjun, same actor as Siheon. We're given clues from the get-go, as Junhee not only can't accept his death, but also doesn't believe that he's dead and feels like he could be alive. The first episode gives us a look into her life, her job, and how she's dealing with her grief. We're shown flashbacks to her and Yeonjun's life together, how happy they were, and how sadly it ended. One of these flashbacks takes place on her birthday, where she remembers something Yeonjun used to say to her on her birthdays. I can't fully remember what he says. I think it's something like, "I will always be here to make your birthday special," or something like that, and then she ends up messaging him on their chat, which obviously he hasn't responded to since he died, but she still writes to him, and she writes, I think at the end of the episode, "You promised that you would still make my birthday special," and that just absolutely broke my heart. It's really a sad first episode. I think I was crying within the first 10 minutes, which isn't quite a record for how long it's taken me to cry watching a show or movie. The record is currently held by Madagascar 2, which makes me cry within 5, but it still says a lot about the atmosphere of the show and what's being created. Episode 1 also ends very ominously when Junhee is sent a message from someone that she doesn't know on Instagram of what looks like her, Yeonjun, and another boy, but isn't, and thus the confusion begins. I cannot wait to get really into this, and I feel like this review is going to end up being quite long, but I don't care. I have so much to talk about. So before we get into the deeper elements of the plot, let's dissect the characters and their roles in this story. I'm actually going to split this up by actors rather than individual characters, because just the comparison between the two is enough to discuss for hours. Jun Yeobin is an incredible actor. Oh my gosh. I was completely and utterly blown away by her performances. Being able to multi-role as successfully as she did is not easy, and I truly commend her for that. Even though I was seeing the same face with both of these characters, I felt like I wasn't, because she changed her characteristics so much. I knew when she was in Minju's body, and I knew when Minju was Minju before they even said it, purely based on just how she was acting. I thought her character choices for each person were so on point. She completely mastered the reserved, bullied schoolgirl and the independent, confident girl boss. And this is probably also props to makeup and styling too, so go them. Despite being, I think she's 36 now, so that would mean that she was probably 33 around the time of filming this, she still managed to appear to be a teenage girl. Like, how? I mean, just aside from the fact that she is so gorgeous and looks like she could still be 20, there's an air around teenage looks that's really hard to replicate, but they managed it, and she managed it. It just made it feel that much more real and that it was really two different people rather than just one person. Both of them have incredible character arcs too. Junhee finally gets closure and Minju gets her life back. I think from what I thought when I was watching, we're really rooting for Junhee, whereas we pity Minju. It could definitely have been the other way around, but I think how the director framed it was significant and meant that we saw each girl in this way. Like, even though we're introduced to Minju first, it's very clear that Junhee is actually the main focus. Okay, this next little bit is going to be spoilers, so skip ahead now. I loved how Minju was shown after Junhee traveled back to the present and how she was desperate to become Junhee to make Siheon love her. It was heartbreaking, but at the same time, showed her jealousy really, really well. It made for a very difficult watch too, seeing that even when Minju was trying her best to appear as Junhee, she failed nonetheless and fell back into this hole of despair. It was also really trippy when they were in that, other dimension and Junhee was trapped watching Minju make certain decisions and act the way that she did. I can remember fully sobbing my eyes out when Junhee was basically forced to watch Minju commit suicide. From what I can remember, twice? If not, it was only once, but still, it was done so well that it really left a mark on me. And from what I can remember, Junhee is actually the reason that Minju commits suicide, or at least can't talk her out of it, and that's why she's so desperate to be the one that saves her, and she does. I honestly can't praise Yeonjun enough. I genuinely felt her performances so deeply, and you can tell that she really thought about these characters too and wasn't just reading lines off a script. And obviously, this is something you'd hope to see in most movies or shows, but it isn't always there, so huge props to her for both of these incredible performances. This is An Hyo-seop's best role. This is not debatable. I know I say that everyone has their own opinions, but this is a fact, because you cannot watch this and tell me otherwise. He does so well in dramas, just pure dramas, not necessarily romantic dramas, just pure dramas, and I've always thought that. But this was on a completely different level and showcased his talents in full. The multi-rolling, the emotions, the pain, everything is so perfectly executed and put him very much on par with his co-star. I remember not being fully sure what to expect when I first started watching it, but I was impressed from episode 1 with his performance. This came out the year after Business Proposal, so I hadn't been exposed to his full range at this point. I just knew I quite liked him as an actor. At the time, probably just because I found him very handsome, which is fair and I'm not ashamed to admit it, but now I feel like I really appreciate his skill and he's shown this range in dramas since then too. From what I can remember, Dr. Romantic Season 2 came out in 2020, but I'm very squeamish, so I don't usually touch medical dramas or go anywhere near them. I remember Season 2 coming out, but I wasn't necessarily aware of An Hyo-seop at this time, so my first introduction to his acting was 2 years later. So for everyone who says, oh, he's been showing his range since before Business Proposal, I know he probably has. I just wasn't aware of it until A Time Called You, and boy was it an introduction. Goodness, I'm just giving away my full life story at this point. Anyway, I found his character the most interesting and the most confusing, which is a good mix because when they're confusing but not interesting, you don't really want to stay and find out. But I was desperate for answers with his character. I thought, much like Yeonjun, he'd managed to present that teenage energy really well. The haircut did a great job making him look younger, I have to say. But his characters seemed so different too, and I was really impressed with how he performed them both. I thought Siheon was a really sweet character, confused, bless him, and occasionally a bit standoffish, but that's just teenagers for you, isn't it? I thought he really captured that youthful spirit, and somehow, they get him to play basketball in every drama. Has anyone else noticed that? At this point, just be a basketball player, mate. Seriously though, it's not easy to multi-role, and I was seriously impressed with the clear distinction between Siheon and Yeonjun, especially when, spoiler skip ahead, I'll wait 2 seconds. Especially when we're introduced to the real Yeonjun, oh my gosh, could not have been more different, really. I also went full Jessie when Rowan magically just showed up.
Adam Sandler? What are you doing here?
Waiting for them to play Gangnam Style.
And even though they weren't shown for very long, and only really in snippets so we could see what happened and how Siheon ended up in Yeonjun's body, I thought it was a really meaningful addition. It didn't feel like they were gay just for the sake of the show trying to be inclusive. It felt genuine and truly heartbreaking because so much was said in those few flashbacks that told you everything you needed to know about them, even the unsaid bits. I don't know, I really liked it. I thought it was different and added a level of depth to the show. It does make me happy though to know that Yeonjun was probably really able to pursue that path when time was reset. Is that the word for it? I'm going to use that word for it. I like to think that everyone got their happy ending. Right, now I'm going to go cry. I can't not talk about Ingyu. He was such a great character and honestly such a sweetheart. All I wanted to do was give him the biggest hug after every episode. I thought he was a really good character to use for the plot, from a writing point of view, as a way to move it along and cause confusion, but at the same time, my boy did not deserve all of that. Come on now. His friendship with Junhee as well was so sweet. I just loved their bond, and also his friendship with Siheon. It's nice to see a show where the male characters are open and vulnerable with one another. Yes! More of this, please! Okay, sorry, there's another spoiler here. Sorry, there's gonna be so many of these because I just have so much to talk about, so I'll give you a couple seconds to skip forward. I really hope he got the best life after the time reset too. Part of me hopes that he and Minju ended up getting together and marrying each other. I don't know, something about that really speaks to me. And part of me feels like she may have come to that conclusion had the time traveling never happened, which I guess is what the time reset did anyway. Oh, it was done so well, I actually can't get over it. I genuinely cannot get over it. Right. Let's really get into it. This may end up being one of my longest videos, like I said earlier, in a while, but do I care? No, not really. This deserves the time. I just first want to say, though, how well thought out the plot was and how brilliantly the episodes were written. There were tiny nuggets of truth in each of the episodes that don't really make sense until you know everything, but make it so fun to try and figure out along the way, because at no point was I any the wiser as to what was happening. And I was happy about it, too. It felt like such a beautiful love story to begin with, and obviously the romance is the main part of it, is a huge part of it, but it really does become a story of self-discovery and how far you would go for the person that you really love. And now I just want to cry again. Oh my gosh. If you've watched it, you'll understand why I want to cry every 2 seconds, because the pain this show caused me was insane. Bittersweet, yes, but incredibly painful, also yes. And that freaking song didn't help. I'm pretty sure I listened to this on repeat for at least a week after I'd finished the drama because 1, I didn't want to let go, and 2, I just want to stay in my feels, man. Sue me. Just know, if you haven't watched it yet, first of all, what are you doing? Go watch it right now. And secondly, bring tissues. Actually, no, bring at least 5 boxes of tissues and then some. That's my warning for you. Now, surprise, surprise, for some more spoilers. You didn't think I was done, did you? Well, buckle in. We need to talk about that ending. I'm sorry to jump there already, but I need to. I loved it. Yes, it made me sad, and I was ugly crying the whole episode, but I will forever pick that over a nicely tied up soppy ending. And that may be controversial, I know that, but I am a sucker for bittersweet endings, and I think it just makes the show much more memorable. We don't know what happens with Siheon and Junhee at the end, but I like that. I want that ending scene to leave an imprint on me, and oh my gosh, it definitely did. The scene of them kissing oh my gosh. The scene of them kissing as the sun sets and they both disappear like a Thanos snap. Lord have mercy, I could not do it. I can't, even just thinking about it, it's so sad. Now let's backtrack a little bit. That freaking man, I do not even know his name, but one absolute ass. His storyline was why I was so impressed with the time travel and how they did it, because I was already impressed, but his scenes proved that if you go into the past, it will have already impacted the future. And even though he was the last person to travel back to 1998, he was the reason why everything happened the way it did, pretty much. I mean, it was all kind of Junhee's fault. Not fault. That makes it sound like she'd done it on purpose. But it was the consequences of her traveling back into the past that caused everything, which is kind of crazy. And the worst part is I had no idea that the guy... What is his name? Actually, what is his name? I'm gonna find out right now. I can't keep saying the guy. What is his name? Chanyeong! That's it! Chanyeong! The worst part is I had no idea that Chanyeong was even evil. Like, the first, maybe like half of the episodes, maybe not. The first half of the episodes, I actually quite liked him up until, oh my gosh, what was it? Something happened and I suddenly started to see him in a different light, but I can't quite remember what the event was. The moment he stabbed Siheon though, I think I actually may have screamed. Guys, I was beyond invested in this. Like, let my Pookies be happy and in love, please, just for 1 second, please. In terms of the two leads though, I just love that they both went to find each other. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry while I'm talking about this. It's stupid. I just love that they both went to find each other. That is true love right there. Like, the scenes when Siheon wakes up as Yeonjun and is immediately set on finding Junhee because of what she told him, it still messes with my head now, and I know everything that happens. He's so insistent, and it's so cute. I know in real life it would be so overbearing, but he does mean well, and he's so sweet, I can't. And I do think that they fell in love in every lifetime. Like, I really, really do. I want to know what you guys think about that and what happened when they met again in the modern day as their real selves, because I think it's so interesting. And also, everybody seems to have a different opinion on it, but I do think that they found each other in every lifetime and fell in love. I do. Wow. I need someone like this in my life. But that's for a different time. Right now, I'm too focused on how in love these two are, and whilst it does make me feel cripplingly single, it does remind me that even though it's a show and not real life, true love is special. My new standard is if I'm not willing to time travel to try and save them, then they're not worth it. So there it is, my completely unbiased review of A Time Called You. Seriously though, I know that there are people who won't like it and it won't be everyone's cup of tea, but I think either way, you have to admit that it is a very well written show and it has incredible acting and I loved watching it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it and then come back and watch this again so you can hear the spoiler bits. I really enjoyed speaking about this show, if you haven't been able to tell this whole time. And I don't often get this passionate talking about movies and shows, she says, when all of her reviews have been passionate so far. But this one is really special to me, and I think will remain one of my favourites ever. It's a special one too, because it isn't one that I'll watch all the time due to the nature of it, obviously, but that has a nice quality to it too. I would never want to watch this so much that I become sick of it, because I'd never want to become sick of this show. So thank you so much for tuning into another video. Make sure to like it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss more content from me. This was a Flashback Friday episode, which I release monthly, but I release regular uploads every Tuesday. So if this is your first introduction to me, please make sure to tune in then. I'm also on Substack where I post these reviews in their original essay form and some extra content throughout the week of what I'm watching, what I'm up to, etc. So make sure to subscribe there too. The link is in the description of this video and it's on my channel profile. But that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed speaking about it so much. So until next time, my drama princes and princesses, stay dramatic. Mwah!